Hey there, folks. Today we're diving deep into how you can leverage debt to your advantage. That's right, we're going to talk about debt, but not the kind that keeps you up at night. We're talking about smart debt, the kind that helps you build wealth, not chip away at it. Over the next few chapters, we'll be covering topics like good debt versus bad debt, strategies for managing debt efficiently, the role of credit scores, investment opportunities through debt, and the long-term impacts of debt leveraging. Each of these topics will be explained in detail, with over 3,000 words dedicated to providing you with a comprehensive understanding. So buckle up, grab your notebooks, and get ready to learn how to take control of your finances and use debt as a powerful tool to build a brighter future. Let's dive in. All right, folks, let's talk about debt. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now I know what you're thinking, Dave, debt is never good. And you're right for the most part. But hear me out, because there's a big difference between good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is like a thief in the night, stealing your hard-earned money and leaving you with nothing but stress and regret. It's the kind of debt that keeps you trapped in a cycle of payments, with no end in sight. This is your credit card debt, your payday loans, your car loans for cars you can't afford. You know the culprits. Good debt, on the other hand, is like an investment. It's the debt you take on to buy something that will appreciate in value or help you generate income. Think of it like this. Would you rather be in debt for a fancy new car that loses half its value the second you drive it off the lot, or for a rental property that generates monthly cash flow? That's what I'm talking about, folks. Good debt is about building a future, not funding a lifestyle you can't afford. It's about making smart financial decisions that put you in the driver's seat. Now let's talk about some examples of good debt. One of the best examples is a mortgage. When you buy a home, you're investing in an asset that will likely appreciate in value over time. Plus, you get the tax benefits that come with homeownership. It's a win-win. Another example of good debt is a student loan, but only if it's for a degree that will lead to a high-paying job. I'm not talking about some fancy art history degree that leaves you working at a coffee shop. I'm talking about degrees in fields like healthcare, technology, or engineering, fields where there's a high demand for skilled workers. Now let's be clear, just because a debt can be considered good doesn't mean you should go out and rack up as much of it as possible. You still need to be smart about your borrowing and make sure you can comfortably afford the payments. But understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt is crucial for anyone who wants to take control of their finances and build a brighter future. So, take a good hard look at your debt and ask yourself, is it helping me build wealth, or is it holding me back? Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of managing debt efficiently, because let's face it, even good debt can turn bad if you don't handle it responsibly. It's like having a powerful tool. You need to know how to use it properly, or you'll end up hurting yourself. The first step to managing debt effectively is to create a budget. I know, budgeting sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry, but trust me, it's the foundation of any sound financial plan. You need to know where your money is going each month so you can identify areas where you can cut back and free up cash flow to put towards your debt. Once you have a budget in place, it's time to get serious about tackling your debt. And when I say serious, I mean snowball serious. The debt snowball method is the most effective way to pay off debt, and it's simple. You list your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of interest rate. Now you're going to make minimum payments on all of your debts, except for the smallest one. You're going to attack that smallest debt with a vengeance, throwing every extra dollar you have at it until it's gone. Why the smallest debt first? Because it gives you a psychological win. You get to cross something off your list, and that momentum keeps you going. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but it gains momentum as it goes. Once that smallest debt is gone, you take the money you were paying on it and add it to the next smallest debt, and so on. As you pay off each debt, your snowball gets bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you're debt-free. Now, while you're working on that debt snowball, it's important to avoid taking on any new debt. That means no more impulse purchases, no more keeping up with the Joneses, just good old-fashioned financial discipline. Another important strategy for managing debt efficiently is to negotiate lower interest rates. That's right, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call your creditors. Let them know you're committed to paying off your debt and ask if they're willing to lower your interest rate. You might be surprised at how often this works. The worst they can say is no, but you might just be able to save yourself some serious money in interest charges. Finally, remember that managing debt efficiently is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be setbacks along the way, but don't get discouraged. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Millions of people have been in debt and come out the other side stronger and more financially secure. You can do this. Now, let's talk about credit scores, folks. You know, that mysterious 3-digit number that can make or break your financial life. It's like your financial GPA, and just like in school, a good credit score can open doors to better opportunities. Your credit score is a measure of your creditworthiness, and it tells lenders how likely you are to repay your debts. A higher credit score means you're a lower-risk borrower, which means you'll qualify for lower interest rates and better loan terms. Think of it like this. If you were a lender, would you rather lend money to someone with a history of paying their bills on time, or someone who's constantly late or defaulting on their debts? The answer is obvious, right? That's why it's so important to build and maintain a good credit score. It's not something that happens overnight, but with a little effort, you can improve your score and put yourself in a better position to leverage debt to your advantage. So, how do you build a good credit score? Well, it all starts with paying your bills on time, every time. That means your credit card bills, your utility bills, your student loan payments, everything. Payment history is the single most important factor in your credit score, so make it a priority. Another important factor is your credit utilization ratio, which is the amount of credit you're using compared to the amount of credit you have available. The lower your credit utilization ratio, the better. So, try to keep your balances low and avoid maxing out your credit cards. It's also a good idea to have a mix of credit types. That means having a combination of revolving credit, like credit cards, and installment loans like auto loans or student loans. Having a mix of credit shows lenders that you can handle different types of debt responsibly. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Dave, I messed up my credit in the past. Is there any hope for me? And the answer is yes. It may take some time and effort, but you can rebuild your credit score. Start by getting current on any past due accounts and making all of your payments on time from now on. You can also consider becoming an authorized user on a responsible family member's credit card or getting a secured credit card to start building a positive credit history. Remember, your credit score is a reflection of your financial habits. By making smart choices and managing your debt responsibly, you can build a strong credit score and unlock a world of financial opportunities. All right, folks, let's talk about how you can use debt strategically to build wealth through investments. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dave, didn't you just tell us to get out of debt? And yes, I did. But remember, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is an investment in your future, and when used wisely, it can help you achieve your financial goals faster. One of the best ways to leverage debt for investment purposes is through real estate. Now, I'm not talking about going out and buying a mansion you can't afford. I'm talking about investing in rental properties that generate passive income. Here's how it works. You purchase a property using a mortgage, and then you rent it out to tenants. The rental income you receive covers your mortgage payments, property taxes, and other expenses, and ideally, you're left with positive cash flow each month. Over time, as you pay down your mortgage, your equity in the property increases, and the value of the property itself may appreciate. You can then choose to hold onto the property for long-term cash flow or sell it for a profit. Now, real estate isn't the only way to invest through debt. You can also use leverage to invest in the stock market through margin accounts. However, margin trading is riskier than traditional investing because losses are amplified. It's essential to have a solid understanding of the risks involved and to consult with a financial advisor before using margin. Another option is to invest in your own business. Starting a business often requires capital, and taking on debt can be a smart way to fund your growth. However, it's crucial to have a solid business plan and to be confident in your ability to generate enough revenue to cover your debt payments. Remember, investing through debt is not without risks. It's essential to do your research, understand the terms of any loans you take on, and make sure you're comfortable with the level of risk involved. But when used wisely, debt can be a powerful tool for building wealth and achieving your financial goals. So, don't be afraid to explore your options and consider how leveraging debt can help you create a brighter financial future. Now let's talk about the long-term impacts of debt leveraging. Because while taking on debt can help you achieve your financial goals faster, it's essential to consider the long-term consequences of your decisions. One of the most significant impacts of debt leveraging is the effect it has on your cash flow. When you have debt payments to make each month, it reduces the amount of money you have available for other expenses, savings, and investments. This can make it more challenging to reach your financial goals, such as buying a home, retiring early, or leaving a legacy for your loved ones. It's essential to find a balance between using debt strategically and living within your means. Another long-term impact to consider is the effect of interest rates. When you take on debt, you're essentially paying a premium for the privilege of borrowing money. The longer you carry debt and the higher the interest rate, the more you'll end up paying in interest charges over time. This is why it's crucial to shop around for the best interest rates and to pay down your debt as quickly as possible. Even a small difference in interest rates can save you thousands of dollars over the life of a loan. Debt leveraging can also impact your credit score, as we discussed earlier. While taking on some debt can be beneficial for your credit score, too much debt can have the opposite effect. It's essential to maintain a healthy credit utilization ratio and to avoid taking on more debt than you can comfortably handle. Finally, it's crucial to consider the emotional impact of debt. Carrying a lot of debt can be stressful and overwhelming, and it can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. It's essential to find healthy ways to manage financial stress and to seek support if you're struggling. Remember, debt leveraging is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. By using debt strategically, managing it responsibly, and considering the long-term impacts of your decisions, you can harness the power of debt to achieve your financial goals and create a brighter future. That's it for today, folks. We've covered a lot of ground, from understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt, to exploring investment opportunities through debt. Remember, debt in itself isn't inherently good or bad, it's all about how you use it. By understanding the principles we've discussed today, you can take control of your finances and make smart decisions that will set you up for success. Now it's your turn to take this knowledge and apply it to your own financial planning. Remember, the journey to financial freedom starts with a single step. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts or questions. Until next time, stay focused, stay motivated, and keep climbing that ladder to financial success.